Hello everybody, it's your friendly GreenFlamingo, and today we have the final episode in our trying to make the fastest vehicle in BeamNG series, because I don't really see any other ways to further our speed runs here, at least for straight line modded category. The changes are pretty minimal this time. It's actually using less power raw thrust than before because it gets a little unstable with no drag. However, you will discover that with no drag, we don't need a lot of power because it will never cease to have the high G-forces it pulls as we start accelerating. The main difference we did is we set drag and lift in the Stefan750 Car Scaler to 0 as opposed to 0.01. So when we're at 30,000 miles an hour, we're having 0 miles an hour of drag as opposed to 300 miles an hour of drag, which is a pretty substantial difference when you're at that high of a velocity. Without further ado, let's get this going, but I want to get us into a third-person camera view because this vehicle's speed is something to behold. Now, it is going to initially veer to the left, but it will stable out. Trust me. Anyway, as we get on with things, as you saw, it initially pulled a lot to the left, but now it's a bit stable. It usually fluctuates around this velocity down here. The speedometer is up here because there is no engine in this vehicle, so there is no land speedometer. Also, a land speedometer would be inaccurate anyway because if this were using Dio Valenti wheels, for example, which don't explode with higher velocity, they still would turn into discs and cause inaccurate readings and also make just driving the vehicle a lot more difficult. This thing flies mostly straight as an arrow, and we are already going really, really fast. You might notice that the G-forces have not faded as we go at faster speeds. We are still pulling exactly 10.79 Gs, occasionally 10.8 Gs. So the real question is, what's going to happen first? Us hitting 6 figures on speed or the game crashing? Or are we going to roll the thing over? Did the developers ever intend the speedometer to go above 6 figures? Well, we're about to find out. We're going to be continuing the acceleration, and it's going to be pretty substantial. I'm going to try and keep it all uncut because I want to show this speed run from the beginning to end. So apologies for the long video length. My intention is the video will end around the 10-minute mark. So if the vehicle can't go much faster than that after about the 10-minute mark, then, well, that's all I'll call the top end of the speed. At this point, I've basically made it into a game of what happens first, the video ending because I've hit the 10-minute mark, or the game crashing because I hit too high of a speed, or getting a speed. Anyway, we're now past 25,000 miles an hour, which is beyond Earth's escape velocity. Theoretically, if this game were simulating velocity relative to gravity correctly, we would be floating by now, but we haven't quite yet because, well, BeamNG doesn't simulate that. We are now at 30,000 miles an hour, and we are about to beat my previous record a bit shortly here. I kept digging even deeper for faster speed runs I've seen in straight line modded category, and I still can't find anything that is beyond 21,000 miles an hour. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions on any faster builds there are on the net, I would love to know. But as things stand, there's things. Also, if you guys are wondering why the sound's not working, it is. It's just that the game is moving, this vehicle is moving so fast that the sound is glitched. You don't hear really anything from behind the vehicle. You can only hear wind from here. Also, we have now hit 40,000, which is just insane. We are just continuing to get to ridiculous speeds here. Hopefully, the game, if it does crash, either crashes in a physics simulation crash or a game crash without crashing my entire computer. I mean, if it does crash my entire computer and I have to restart the computer, this is being recorded in MKV format, so we should be able to get the footage all the way up until the end. If this cuts off abruptly, you now know what happened. If it does not cut off abruptly, well, then that means mission success. We've hit a really, really, really high speed. I'm impressed the game hasn't crashed just from the outright speed. I mean, look at how glitchy everything is starting to look here. In the previous episode, I showcased what slow motion. Oh my gosh, slow motion looks really trippy now. At 1,000 times slow-mo, first of all, they look like still frames now because, well, that's what it always has been. But look at how fuzzy it is, and at times pixelated it is. That's a new form of glitchiness I have not encountered yet. We are now 5 minutes in. We are at 50,000 miles an hour, and we are still pulling about 10.8 Gs. It does appear we are slowly starting to pull more sideways Gs, so there is a possibility there is an actual upper end of the top speed here for this vehicle if it decides to go fully sideways. But as it currently stands, we are going to keep going faster. We're nearing 60,000 miles an hour now. This is uncharted territory as far as I'm concerned. Even when I did things like setting gravity to negative Earth for like 20 minutes and then hitting sun gravity and seeing how high the speedometer would go, the vehicle would break long before we get to these kinds of speeds. So anybody's guess as to what's going to happen from here on out. Again, the speedometer is up here, so yeah. And this is quite a fast vehicle. I wonder what would happen if we launched it on the highway and west coast of the west coast map on BeamNG, or on the Italy highway in BeamNG. I wonder what would happen with traffic, of course. That would be fun. I got some ideas of things to use this vehicle for, aside from straight up speed runs. But right now we're just going for speed runs, and this is just... It's actually starting to look like what, like a CRT, like one of those old like RF footage like feeds is what it's starting to look like. What does it look like? Wow, we're getting entire dark frames now, just at 1,000 times slow mo. That is insane. We're at nearing 7 minutes now, and we are now about 75,000 miles an hour. This is incredible. I am in awe of this vehicle and how fast it can go now. Yeah, I think we have actually thoroughly broken the laws of physics in BeamNG now. I'm actually kind of proud of my achievement here, managing to successfully get a ridiculous speed out of this vehicle. It would probably cause a lot of crashes if we flung this through the highway on one of the highways of the BeamNG maps with traffic, but it would be very entertaining, I think. The vehicle is technically set to be indestructible. What was that? Also, what is going on? This is... Look at this! Even the vehicle is starting to get all glitchy and wonky and whatnot. This is... Whoa. That is... weird. We are, wow. I'm actually genuinely wondering what's going to happen if we keep going higher on speed. This is just insane. Also, it looks like we might actually run out of fuel eventually as well, even on the 500 liters of Jato fuel we have here. Well, we are about to hit 6 digits here. We're at about 93,000, 94,000 miles an hour. We are still pulling 10.8 Gs. Might have to put, again, in the video description a little bit of a warning for anybody with epilepsy or other photosensitivity issues, because the game is getting really glitchy. Yeah, all right, we are getting very close. This is the strangest thing I have seen in quite a while. All right, we have hit. All right, we can't roll over the score. Unfortunately, we actually can get into 6 digits. The developers did think of that. All right. Did they think about going into 7 digits? Can this game survive going into 7 digits? That's a good question. Can it survive going into 7 digits? Well, anyway, we are nearing the 10-minute mark, so... with that means we are officially hitting the end of the video. So if you guys liked my adventure of trying to chase more and more speed in BeamNG, then maybe consider hitting the like button. Maybe consider even hitting the subscribe button. I do intend to do some more BeamNG shenanigans. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. See you all in the next video. Bye.